From his large yet minimalistic house to the whopping sum he makes per episode, here's all you should know about actor Taylor Kinney's richer-than-rich lifestyle. But before that, you need to know one big update in his life, and that is, well, he's leaving the Chicago Fire series. Okay, leaving might sound too definitive over here, so let's not go overboard with this. But apparently, Taylor has taken a leave of absence from the show, where he starred as the fan-favorite character Kelly Severide for the last 11 years. NBC has made no comment on his departure or whether he'll return. But if Kinney has any say in it, I'm sure he'd love to return. After all, that show has made him millions. The now 41-year-old actor has always been at the center of this drama series, and as any regular on a major network show, he's been making a lot of money from it too. According to multiple sources, Taylor has an estimated net worth of a whopping $8 million. And as his die-hard fans would know, his net worth is largely from acting. Acting has been Taylor's main source of income since the mid-2000s. He first began his career in the entertainment business with modeling and a couple of music videos. But his real journey began when he started landing small parts on major shows like Bones and CSI NY. And of course, who can forget his defining role as Mason Lockwood on the hit and internationally famous series The Vampire Diaries. That really made him into the household name he now is. But his money didn't just come from the small screen. No, this man has had many small but notable roles in popular films like Zero Dark 30 and 2014's The Other Woman. All that aside, everyone can see that most of Taylor's $8 million have come from Chicago Fire. I mean, the actor's been with the show for the past 10 seasons, and he's been a steady earner ever since. News outlets report that the 41-year-old makes about $24,000 per episode. I know, that's a lot. Now, this isn't a confirmed number by any means, and the real money could be less or more, but I think $24,000 is a safe bet. If nothing else, it's a good ballpark indicator of what the actor really gets to keep. Now, his net worth makes him one of the wealthiest actors in the One Chicago universe. Naturally, that makes it easier for him to be able to take such breaks and relax in his huge, exquisite home. Or should I say, homes. By the way, that should be everyone's dream home. Fans know that Taylor likes to keep his personal life out of the spotlight as much as possible. And except for a few glimpses on Instagram, there are very few details and photos of his properties. Before moving to his current house, our guy lived in a cute cottage in San Diego. Now, by no means does that mean his house was small or anything. When I say cottage, I think of an old 1940s style beach bungalow. Unfortunately, this old house was burned down in a fire, and Taylor moved to this large mansion with minimalist interiors. And though he may not like to reveal a lot about his personal life, he did give us some glimpses during the COVID-19 lockdown. And let me tell you, his living room is to die for. The room has two beautiful and very expensive looking double-seat sofas, and, of course, a matching footrest. The room's also decorated with cream carpets and white walls, giving it the minimalist interior I was talking about earlier. You can see large double doors that lead into a beautiful and vast garden. There's also a floor lamp and many cute little houseplants, which add a splash of color to the otherwise white-toned room. But that's not all. Kinney posted a video on Instagram showing the star watching a movie on a wall-mounted TV, which is set above a beautiful fireplace with, you guessed it, exposed brick. The mantelpiece features coasters and tea lights, and you can also see photo frames around the wall. Taylor posted another video during the lockdown in which he's dancing in his dining room, which has a wooden dining table lined with cream-upholstered chairs right in the middle. Of course, a crystal chandelier and a wall-mounted picture were also present to give it a very luxurious look, one that screams, "I'm owned by a millionaire." He also revealed another lounge area, which, while minimalist, is pretty rustic. You can also see wood-paneled walls behind the TV, adding character to the house. And that's not his main home. No, this one appears to be his woodland home in Pennsylvania. And Kinney has very close ties to Pennsylvania, Lancaster in particular. Fans of the star would know that Taylor's originally from this city, and like many other celebrities, he wants to set up camp camp nearby as well, so that he can visit as much as possible. Well, being the rich man he is, Kinney also owns an entertainment venture in Lancaster. Yeah, he invested in a business there back in 2019 and is now a part owner of the Zotropolis Cinema Stillhouse, which is a restaurant, a theater, and a distillery. He's posted about it many times on his social media and is always present for things such as bottle launches and more. You see, this man may be the rich owner here, but he's still very humble. In March 2020, Kinney was seen helping his staff out with takeout orders. How sweet is that? Now, Lancaster may be his hometown, but Taylor spent a lot of time in other places as well, especially Hawaii, where he spent his early adulthood years. The same place where he acquired his pretty expensive love for surfing and skydiving. What can I say? He's always been an adventurous and daring man, much like his character on the show. Surfing and skydiving became staples of Kinney's life, and they still are. Even though Kinney lives in the cold city of Chicago, he still finds some time to get away, pick up his surfing board, and ride the waves in the summer. Honestly, with the amount of money he has, he can also easily afford a wave pool, and I'm sure he'd love to. Now, I'm sure you all know just how expensive these hobbies are. Surfing, maybe not so much, but skydiving? That's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing for most of us, but not for Kinney. It's a hobby for this rich actor. Also, let's circle back a bit. Are we forgetting exactly how expensive living in Hawaii is in general? Like, forget surfing and skydiving, even housing is a whopping 202% higher than the national average, and the overall cost of living is 88% higher. But I'm sure none of that was an issue for our favorite millionaire. He could easily afford that, just as he can afford expensive getaways to places like Tokyo and Mexico every other year. And not just by himself, he takes his friends too. Speaking of friends though, this one also prefers to surround himself with the right company of rich business people and artists. Everyone knows that Kinney was engaged to Lady Gaga. The two had a relationship that lasted almost 5 years before they called it quits in late 2016. They were a very cute and very rich couple. In fact, Kinney and Gaga bought that Lancaster Woodland home together, and with Gaga on his side, Taylor has always given back to the community. For 2 years in a row, together with Lady Gaga, the two raised money for Special Olympics Chicago. They braved the icy waters of Lake Michigan to help raise more than $1 million for the Special Olympics. In 2016, Gaga said, "Me and Taylor love getting cold in your honor every year." And that's all about Kinney's rich lifestyle.